In this video I'm going to take a look at PTFE tape or thread sealing tape. I'm going to take a look at where you would need it and where you shouldn't really need it. So the only time you would actually use this is on a tapered thread which has no other means of sealing it. I've got a couple of examples here. That is a radiator bleed valve, and if you look at that you can actually see that it's got a sealing ring on it, an O-ring, and that actually seals it. So there is no need to put any thread sealant on one of those. Another place where people tend to use PTFE tape when it's not needed is on compression fittings. Compression fittings actually seal by compressing the olive, and that is the olive part there. So that goes tight up against there, and then the nut actually compresses that olive against the fitting, and that creates a watertight seal. So you should never need to put any PTFE tape on a compression fitting. However, if you do find that it is leaking and you can't actually seal it, you can actually put a wrap or a couple of wraps of PTFE tape around the olive, and that should stop the joint from leaking. One place where you will definitely need PTFE tape is on a BSP thread like that. That is a tapered thread, and that is 1/2 inch BSP. That is a radiator tail. So on that end we have the threaded tapered part which screws into the radiator, and on there we have the compression fitting which will connect to the radiator valves. If you were to screw that in there as tight as you could get it with no PTFE tape on, it will definitely leak. So this is one instance where you would need PTFE tape. To apply it, simply put it on the fitting like so. If you hold the fitting in your left hand and then go around it in a clockwise direction like that, you're guaranteed to go around in the correct direction. If you go the wrong way, you can actually unthread the tape as you are screwing it in. That doesn't matter all that much as long as you get a good seal. Once you've gone round it a few times, you can then break that off, and then you can screw that into the radiator. Now once that's nice and tight, you can be guaranteed that that will not leak. So things like flexi tails or flexi tap connectors, they don't need any PTFE tape around the threads because they have a rubber sealing washer. It's the same for a lot of union nuts, etc. If you were installing a bib tap onto a back plate, you would obviously need PTFE tape around there because there is no way of sealing it, there is no washer. That would simply screw in there once you have covered it with PTFE tape. And any fitting with a O-ring on relies on the O-ring to do the seal. So you simply screw that in there, ensuring that you don't cross thread it, like so. And then you would just tighten that up. Obviously you don't need to go mad when you do that. You don't want to crush it to bits, but you just need to ensure that it is reasonably tight, and that will give you a perfectly watertight seal. I hope this video has been helpful. I hope it's helped you to identify some places where you would need PTFE tape and some places where you don't need it. Of course, if you do get a leaking thread, there's absolutely nothing wrong with putting some PTFE tape around there. There is every chance that it may seal it. In a future video I'm going to show you exactly what happens if you don't use enough PTFE tape. I have had quite a lot of comments over the years saying that I use too much of this stuff. Well, I have to say that it's only 30p for a roll of that, and if you do put too much on, it's not going to cause you a problem. If you put too little on, you are going to get a leak. And I have to tell you that as part of my job I actually use PTFE tape on condensate lines and steam lines, and it is absolutely critical that they don't leak. So in a future video I'm going to do a bit of testing, and we'll do some pressure testing on some PTFE joints, some that have only got a little bit of PTFE and some that have the correct amount. I'd like to thank you for watching this video. If you've not done so already, please subscribe to the channel.